enjoy doing them, and did you get any specific instructions from the BBC about what not to say on those sort of commentaries?
No, when we do the commentaries, I don't think the BBC even listens to them. I mean, the guys in the studio do, and we turn up, they literally play the episode. I must confess, I did a bit of research, because I can't remember a damn thing. So I watched them myself before I went in there, and I read some books which jogged my memory. And then we sat down, and the trouble is, you get involved in it, because it's, you know, some of them I haven't seen since I recorded them. And you watch it, and I'd forgotten what happened next, even though I was in it. And, you know, my era has had its criticism over the years, but I watched it, and I thought they were all pretty damn good. I enjoyed the stories, and I enjoyed doing them. Thank you. That's my father. Hang on. But no, we didn't have any instructions about what to say. I don't think they were edited much. There was a couple of occasions when the person directing the voiceover would say, no, you can't swear, or I would say, can we do that again, because I could say that better. But otherwise, no, it was just stream of consciousness, and people seem to enjoy them.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you ever been inside a Dalek?
Have I ever been
inside a Dalek?
Inside a Dalek?
Yeah.
I must have done. I'm sure I have. Yeah, I have actually. Oh, when we did the Five-ish Doctors. If you did the Five-ish Doctors, I was inside a Dalek.
Did you ever get bored and decide to try and chase one down?
Say it again.
Did you ever try and chase a doctor down inside the Dalek?
Did I try and chase
a doctor down?
A doctor?
Yeah.
Whilst in a Dalek?
Yeah.
That would be tricky because I'm the doctor. And if I'm inside the Dalek, that would be like the worm Ouroboros chasing his own rear end. No, I haven't done that.
Okay.
But I must confess, that is not a question I've been asked before.
Thanks, Colin. Could you just comment on the BBC? It seems to me that over the years they've been actually quite lukewarm about Doctor Who. They trashed the tapes in the early years, and then they were sort of rather negative towards your performance, and then they sort of put the show on hold for about 15 years. And now they're just realising what a treasure they've had by resurrecting the old stories and putting them in cartoon forms of the missing episodes.
Yeah, I know. For many years the BBC was unaware of the gold that it was mining. I remember coming over to America in about 1986, something like that, and the head of Lionheart Television over there, a man called Ray Craft, took me out for dinner and said, hey, Carlin, when you go back to the UK, could you ask Michael Grade to give us more Who? We need more Doctor Who so we can sell BBC programmes in the States. Because in the States, Doctor Who was shown on PBS, and the PBS would buy programmes, and if you wanted Doctor Who, you had to get 6 other programmes as well. So it was a great marketing tool for them. But I had to explain to him how the BBC worked back then. The BBC is a non-profit making organisation. So it set up a separate organisation called BBC Enterprises, which is a completely autonomous company that sold BBC programmes. The money they got for those programmes went back not into the programme making department, but as a gift from BBC Enterprises to the BBC. So the totality of the BBC. So there was no incentive in the drama department to make a programme which made money. because they didn't see any of it. So the fact that then Doctor Who earned more money than it cost to make, it was unusually a profit-making programme, was of no benefit whatsoever to the series and serials drama department. So they didn't care about it. And they also, was a kind of arrogance. We want to make new programmes. We don't want to be making something that a previous producer started 20 years ago. I, as a producer, wish to make a new programme of my own devising. So Doctor Who kind of faded for lack of interest, really. Now, the BBC is quite different. Now they understand the marketing, as you can tell if you walk around here, the stuff you can now buy. I mean, the Doctor Who is now, Doctor Who and Sherlock are the two big money earners for the BBC now. They're making them a fortune. So they will keep on making it now. I wish that I had been around when it was loved as much as it is now. But now it is certainly loved.
Not directly related to Doctor Who, but what do you think of the BBC's plan to axe BBC Three?
I've heard about that while I've been here. BBC Three is being axed. I guess they have to make the books balance. The BBC suffers under Tory, the Conservative government, because they don't really like the BBC because they perceive it as having a kind of left-wing bias, whether that's true or not. An awful lot of people who work in television and in news are more inclined to be left and left of centre than they are right of centre. So I suppose it does reflect in the programmes they make. So the Conservatives, when in power, always do what they can to limit the BBC, which is still funded by a licence that everybody who has television pays. So if you buy a television, you have to get a licence, which is £130, £150 a year, £3 a week, and you get all that product, and yet people complain. So they have to make the books balance, and that's what they've decided to do. And when you think that things like Torchwood and loads of really good programmes have come out of BBC Three, it'll be very sad. But maybe they're just raising that threat in order to draw attention to the fact that the funding is important. I don't know. It would be very sad. There's a lady up there jumping up and down, desperate. Yes, you. Come on, come down here. You have to come to the microphone. It won't come to you.
G'day.
G'day.
G'day. You're obviously a Doctor Who fan, right?
I'm what?
A Doctor Who fan.
I am.
Awesome. And who's your favourite?
Am I? Oh, right.
Are you? You seem to know a lot about it.
Well, I like Doctor Who. Of course I do. I'm in it.
No, well...
I'm a You fan. Are you a You fan?
Are you... So, your favourite Doctor's yourself?
Who's my favourite Doctor?
Yeah, and companion.
My favourite Doctor and companion?
Aye.
You're looking at him.
You're your own companion?
Nicola!
Awesome.
If it wasn't me and Nicola, who would it be? It would be, I think Leela would be my favourite companion.
Okay.
Who's with Tom Baker.
Yes.
Because Louise Jameson is a great friend of mine. And my favourite Doctor currently, Patrick Troughton.
Oh wait, what one's that again?
Number 2.
Sweet. Who wants this? Hello.
Hello.
Some of us have recently seen the Doctor Who Symphonic Spectacular, hosted by Peter Davison. Just wondering if you've watched any of the proms over in Britain, or if you're into the music.
No, I haven't seen the proms. I know that Peter's been doing them, but as a matter of principle, if they don't ask me, I'm not going.
Fair enough.
Certainly not paying for a ticket to go and see Peter.
And some of the interviews, the newer Doctors, they talk about how they got to choose some of the aspects of their costume. Did you get to have the same choice and choose some of the things you got to wear as the Doctor?
When I was offered the part, the producer, John Nathan Turner, said to me, now, what would you like to wear for a costume? And I said, why does he have a costume? Why can't I use my clothes? You know, why, who else do you know wears the same thing every day, doesn't change? Actually, there's a few of you here, aren't there? So he said, no. So I went away and thought, and I came back, and I described exactly what Christopher Eccleston got. Right? It struck me that the Doctor, doing what the Doctor does, being the Doctor, would probably find an advantage in not being noticed occasionally, of being able to blend into the background and disappear, in creating an effect. So I thought, all in black, long black coat. And John Nathan said, no, that's too close to the master. And he said, I think it should be totally tasteless. And I pleaded not to be totally tasteless. And I got what I got. The only advantage was I was on the inside looking out. The rest of you had to put up with it. But wind forward a quarter of a century and they bring out little figures of the Doctors. And which one sells the most? Children buy them. The colourful one. And as I get 0.0000001 of a penny for every 1,000 sold, I've got a few pounds out of that. So my costume was won through in the end.
That's a good point.
Hi, Colin.
Hello.
I love the 5-ish Doctors, and I really love the scene with your family at the start.